Welcome to Diversity Conversations, where we engage in thought-provoking dialogue to identify leadership solutions to today's most challenging conflicts. Stream live each week, Saturday 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. Hosted by Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Strategist and CEOs Eric Ellis and Tommie Lewis. Join us and add your voice to this engaging diversity conversation.
Good morning, Greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, the United States, and the world. My name is Eric Ellis, and I'm the president and CEO of Integrity Development Corporation. And I'm joined this morning by my good friend and my brother,
Tommie Lewis, president and CEO of Make It Plain Consulting. Good morning, Eric.
This is your standing ovation in the crowd just screaming, yeah. Tommie, Tommie, Tommie. Tommie, how you doing this morning, man?
Doing well, Eric. I'm here in Greensboro, North Carolina, the home of North Carolina A&T State University. Obviously, our community knows that my youngest son, Bryce, attends North Carolina A&T. We took the drive from Ohio to North Carolina on yesterday. It's about 7 hours, 7.5 hours.
Okay.
But we're here, and I'm here this morning. Got a flight back home this afternoon.
Okay.
But it's raining. It's dreary. But it's always a great day to be with you and our community and in this conversation.
Absolutely. Tommie, we were powerfully blessed last Saturday. The conversation was powerful, life-changing in many ways. Our community was weighing in fantastic ways, man. And I thought about our conversation a couple of times over the last week, man. I just want to thank you.
Yeah. Absolutely, Eric. I do go back and reflect on the conversation. And more importantly for me, I use the conversation to empower myself and empower others. In fact, Eric, on yesterday, I posted on one of my social medias, because I think I only have one, maybe Facebook, maybe two with LinkedIn.
Right.
But 2026 for me is the year of service to others. And our conversation last week and a couple of weeks prior has inspired me to really give to others, even when I have needs of my own. As I thank God for the blessings that He's bestowed upon me and you and our community, just giving of others. And that's what love is. No matter how much love we give, our cup still spilleth over.
Right.
So that's the charge for me to the community, is to give by way of your time, energy, efforts, and other resources that you might have.
Right. I love that. And, I had said, Tommie, that one of the things that God said to me is that, Eric, if you aren't also good at receiving from others, then your giving is nothing more than pride. And so I said that. Suzanne, that works for me, said, Eric, when you said that, I found that so profound. And this last week, I had a chance to benefit from that, Tommie. I've received from you, which I appreciate, but also we are preparing our house to put it on the market. And I've been in there, man, with my oldest son and my nephew, my brother's son. They were both helping me declutter 30 years of being in a house, man. I mean, it was literally a Herculean task. And it was just so refreshing to be in there with those boys, man. And number one, the bags that they put out over the basement, I mean, the whole basement was cluttered with bags. I mean, I describe it like fossils, Tommie. When you've been in a home for 30 years and stuff is just stacked on top of stuff, man, it was like fossils. They got all that stuff out of there. And then I tried to introduce them to painting, but that was not their forte, Tommie. Yeah. It looked like they was just in there slinging paint everywhere, man. And so I had to go back and do some cleanup work. But I want to give a shout out to Jack Bina, that is one of our fellow members of the West Club, for just coming over and literally being a blessing in our house. Jack is a master painter. He just recently painted the exterior of our house, and it's just fabulous. and I asked him to come by and help me just sort of get some things touched up on. And he came into the master bathroom, man. And like a great artist, he was just in there doing amazing work. And I asked him at the end, Tommie, I said, hey, Jack, how much do I owe you? Jack said, Eric, you don't owe me a thing.
Oh, wow.
And I just couldn't believe it, man. And he was there for 12 hours. And my son was saying, boy, he takes a long time. I said, but that's what mastery looks like.
Yeah.
People are meticulous about their work. And even though he probably knew in his mind that he wasn't going to charge me, Tommie, he didn't cut any corners. He didn't try to do just a quick job. He did a job like as unto God. He really just blessed us, man. We just really appreciated that. And then Danny Oliver was able to sort of secure us some young men to help move whenever we get ready to do that. Football players from the high school. And then Keith Holland is finding doors. But it's just a beautiful thing, Tommie, to be a part of a community where people are looking out for each other, man. So that's just really been a blessing.
Yeah, that's serving others.
Yeah.
Again, time, resources, connections, etc. And it does pay back.
Yeah.
It does. The intention is not to serve such that it does pay back.
Right.
But it always does. That when we are good stewards of God's blessings upon us, personally, professionally, from a business perspective, his timing is always on time, Eric.
That's exactly right.
And that's where we are here in the beginning of this year of 2026. And we have to remember that, some 26 years ago, the world was supposed to come to an end, right? Because of
oh man, people were scared.
Yeah, because of technology, and we're going to glitch after year 1999. That was a long time ago now.
Right.
The question that I'm asking myself, Eric, is in addition to hearing your story, understanding your transition, for myself, I'm anxiously hopeful.
I like that.
Next.
I like that, Tommie. Tommie, that's exactly how I feel every day almost, man, is I get up with I call it joy and rainbows. I mean, I literally am anticipating this amazing year, and I'm just grateful, excited, filled with joy about this year, man. And so I agree with you. And I'm going to double down on your year of service. I love that, Tommie. There's nothing, when we're serving others, Tommie, that can be nothing but a blessing to us. Yeah. I just went and watched Reggie Rebels. I watched his boys play basketball a couple of times in the last week, man. And to watch Reggie, we went to high school together. We were college roommates for a year at Wright State. His mother's been like a mother to me. And to see Reggie really love on these boys, man, and really invest in their basketball skills, and to see how smart they were. I mean, he's serving them, but I could see the blessing that he's receiving from doing that.
Yeah, Eric, and even with that, today is our first day in our new studio.
That's right. That's right.
Right. So I'll throw it to you because I think you put something together.
Right. Community, we have been telling you we were moving into our new studio, but it wouldn't look much different because it's we have a white wall behind us, just like we did at our last studio. But I wanted to share with you a video of the work that Tommie and I have done. Lydia, I think you've got a 30-second video or something like that you put up.
We've relocated our studio.
Just like Nightline or Michelle Obama and her brother, Tommie Lewis and Eric Ellis have put some love into this location, and we are just grateful to be here. Tommie, thank you for all the setup work that you did in here. That's beautiful, man. So, community, we thank you for your support, and we're glad to be at our new home.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Our new home with new content this year, new guests, etc. So we want to remind our community to continue to like and subscribe. We need you to be involved and stay engaged. So thank you for continuing to like and subscribe. We have a promo for the beginning of the year.
Note is brought to you by Game Time Budgeting, an award-winning financial wellness firm helping employees transform their relationship with money. By focusing on mindset, behaviors, and simple systems, Game Time Budgeting helps people save more, reduce debt, and feel more confident about their finances without judgment or confusion. Learn more at GameTimeBudgeting.com and start playing offense with your finances.
All right. Well, we have our guest that we thought was going to join us last Saturday, but God had another plan, and she is joining us today. So I'd like to invite to the stage Denisse Ruiz. And she's taking Tommie Lewis's seat, keeping it warm. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me here today. Hi, everyone.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, Denisse, how are you?
Good. I'm great. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great.
Well, we are certainly glad to have Denisse join us. She was one of our neighbors in our last studio location. She's a business owner, a woman of faith, really just doing an amazing service to the community. She has gotten men to do things that I don't think that we are often willing to do in terms of taking care of our face and our body. And, and so I'd like her to just to start by just introducing yourself before we even get into what the work is that you do. Why don't you start by just introducing yourself, talk about where you are from, and who are the people and the events in your life that had the greatest impact on who you are today?
Okay, well, my name is Denisse. I was born in Ecuador. I then, when I was 9 years old, moved to New York, so United States. We came over here. We lived there for a few years. When I was 13, I finally came here to Cincinnati, Ohio. So I did my high school here. I went to college. I'm a UC graduate from UC. And my parents are here with me, my sisters, and I also have a 9-year-old. I'm not sure if I ever mentioned that to you guys, but yes, I have a 9-year-old daughter. So they play a big role in who I am today.
Mm-hmm. So where did you go to high school? In Cincinnati, that's like the biggest question that anybody will ever ask you is what high school you went to.
I went to Fairfield High School.
Okay.
So I did freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior, and then I went straight to UC.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I did not know that you went to Fairfield, and that's a little bit 9 or 10 years ago, or maybe not, maybe more than that. My niece graduated from Fairfield.
Okay.
She played soccer. Her name was Alexis, right? Williams. But not the name drop, but I'm name dropping. Just connecting the community. So I just wanted to jump in there, Fairfield. And I lived in Fairfield for about 10 years before moving back to Cincinnati.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Well, Denisse, our community will weigh in. And so somebody has already weighed in to ask a question. I'm curious about the weather in Ecuador. They say it's very unique.
It is. So I live in Guayaquil. So the capital in Ecuador is Quito. Quito is more cold. And where I'm from is warm. It's hot.
Okay.
Yes. So it's hot. It's 80, 90 degree weather Fahrenheit. So it's beautiful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So talk to people about your profession and what made you decide that this was something that you wanted to do.
Okay. So when I was younger, when I first came here to Ohio, I was roughly 13. So, I was going through puberty and I started developing acne a lot in my skin. And I didn't know what was going on. Again, I'm 13 years old. I had, at 13, I have no money. I had no knowledge of what was going on in my skin. So what I would do is I would go on YouTube and I will look up recipes, home recipes, how to fix or how to cure my acne, in other words. So my mother cooks all the time. So she would have a bunch of different like produce and all these stuff in here at home. So I will use all her stuff and I will just like blend them in the blender and I will make all these like masks. I will do all these crazy stuff to try to clear my acne in my desperation, Again, I was 13, 14, 15. And I have 2 younger sisters and none of them, I was the only one with acne. And I was the one that took, the most care of my skin. So that was very challenging for me. It was a very tough season. And that happened all the way till I was like 20. So yeah, then it finally, I went to a dermatologist, little by little started clearing up, but I never had, that skin, it's always been a challenge for me. So that's where it kind of developed my love for skincare. So then eventually.
Hold up. Sometimes we will slow down the picture frame.
Okay.
Because I don't want to blow by the acne in school and how difficult it is to get up and to decide I got to go to school today. What was some of your, just talk to us about that experience and that experience matched with you coming to a new city and that kind of thing. What were some of the kinds of experiences that you were going through?
So it was hard. It was hard, especially when you're a teen. You're still going through that identity development. You are worried about social, like your friends, you want to be accepted. And rejection feels permanent. It feels very personal. So here in the country, roughly 50 million people suffer from acne. And acne is linked to higher stress levels, anxiety, depression. So again, it was hard. It was hard. I used to distance myself a lot from like my friends and just social settings. I didn't want to be around people, honestly. It wasn't bad, but it was bad enough for me, I guess, personally, it was bad enough for me. So I used to always just try to hide away from all that. So it was rough, again, especially in high school where, again, you want to be accepted by everybody. You want to be friends with everybody. So yeah.
Tommie?
So I did not know that acne was associated with stress and anxiety, etc. I understand it. I had suffered acne in high school. I used a lot of medications, facial medications, things like that for acne. And then I also had in college suffer from razor bumps as an African-American man shaving with a razor, developed razor bumps. So not only did I have acne on my face, I had razor bumps on my cheeks and my neck. And it impacted me. Now is very, very positive. But then people ridicule, they were critical, etc. And I had to overcome any self-doubt or build my own self-esteem. Could you talk about your experience with, if so, having to manage or work through your own self-esteem and your self-image?
Yes. So I had to, in a way, learn how to love myself how I am, and accept myself how I am. I don't have acne now, but back then, it was hard, especially, you growing up, you being a teen. Again, it's just you want to be accepted by everyone. So it was hard. It was very hard. But again, eventually I learned to love myself how I am. And I'm older now. So now it's just,
When you say hard, was that hard internally, or was it hard in terms of what some of the treatment you were receiving? And can you talk about either of those?
Mostly internally.
Yeah.
Yes, it was very internally. I saw myself in the mirror and I didn't see that clear skin. I didn't know what was going on. First of all, when I first started at 13, I didn't know what was going on, why I was developing all these pimples in my skin, So yes, very internally a lot.
Yeah.
And then, so did you know later on, obviously going to University of Cincinnati, at what point did you know that you wanted to go into your line of business now to possibly help others through their not only physical wellness, right, but also impacting them spiritually, impacting them emotionally. What made you decide to say, hey, I want to help others in this way?
Okay. So I always knew I wanted to start my own business. I just didn't know how.
Right.
And I had fear. I had a lot of fear behind it, right?
Mhm.
So I remember I went to school. I graduated at UC and I ended up I wanted to do finance.
Okay.
So that's what I wanted to
Oh,
do. Yes.
okay.
So that's the whole thing of why I went to college, UC, to Linder, was to do finance. So I wanted to do finance at Jeff Weiler Kia here in Jungle Gyms, Dixie Highway.
Mhm.
When I went there, they told me that since I have no experience, that they can put me in car sales. And then from there, maybe 6 months, I'll be able to do finance. So I said, car sales, like, there's no way I can do that.
Right.
Like, I don't know how to communicate with people like that. You know, I'm not the best. So anyhow, I was like, you know what? I'll do it. I'll take the challenge. I'll do it.
Mhm.
I did it, right? It was 20 men. It was only me and another girl. I was doing so well. I became top 1 in sales, units, and gross out of Nissan, Cadillac, and Kia.
Wow.
I was killing it.
Right.
So I was like, oh man, I'm really good.
Right.
You know, when I saw my page, I was like, wow.
Right.
I'm like, okay, I keep going.
Right.
So I kept going month and month and month and month and month. And then eventually they said, well, do you want to do the finance? And I had talked to a lot of my friends that moved to finance, and it just wasn't it. So I'm like, no, I'm good. I'll stay here.
Right.
So I just stay there. And then again, in the back of my head was, I want to start my business, you know, in this field. But I'll have to go back to school, get my license for it, and then go on. So I really wanted to do lashes. So that's why I started. It was lashing. I just wanted to do lashing. That's all I wanted to do. So anyways, I ended up deciding that, you know, I'm going to start. So I ended up quitting. I quit Jeff Weiler. They didn't want to let me go, but I said, no, I have to go. Yes, I quit. I said, that's it. That was like 2 years ago. I said, that's it. I'm quitting. I signed up to school. I went back to school. I finished school. I graduated.
How many years?
No. So in Ohio, and I'm talking about not college, not UC, this is Cincinnati Esthetics. So in the state of Ohio, we are required to have 600 hours to hold our license. That's if you want to do aesthetics. If you want to do cosmetology, it's, I think, 1,200 hours. Okay. So I went full time because I wasn't working. So I went full time, and it took me roughly 7 months. To complete and finish my 600 hours for the state of Ohio. So when I first started, I was working out of my house. I did it for roughly 8 months. I did it out of my house. I had a spare bedroom, and I said, you know what? I'm going to start here. Right. And again, I went to school for lashing. When I started school, I fell in love with skin. With aesthetics. So I never did lashing. To this day, I don't do lashing. Oh my. Yeah, I don't do lashing. I do lash lifts, but I don't do lashing. So I fell in love with skin. So I said, you know what? I'm going to turn the spare room into, you know, a small little suite. Right. And I did. Right. And I did. And it was, when you first come in my house, there was a spare bedroom there. So who would have thought that room was just storage? Right. It was like God worked it. That's where I started it. Right. Yeah. So I did for 8 months, and I started, you know, I had no clients. Right. That was my fear. I had nothing. Honestly. It was just like the knowledge that I was learning, and then my own experience. That's it. And then little by little, you know, I started, you know, on social media. I started, you know, posting like, hey, like, I'll do like $50 facials. Somebody want to come, or a free facial, you know? Right. And, you know, people like saying, yeah, I'll come. So people will come. And that person will tell the other person, and that person will tell the other. And then before you know it, Eric, I started having so many people come to my house. And at first it was just women. And then I started like, some ladies started bringing their husbands, and then they started telling their friends, and it just started growing. I started having so many men coming in and out of my house. Right. I was like, okay, that's it. I was like, I need to get a place. Right. I need to get a place already. Right. To grow professionally, I have to get a place. So I did. And that's when I ended up going to Elevate.
Right. Now, what kind of talk about the equipment that you have? It looks very expensive. I've seen it only from a distance, but.
So at first, so I'm going to say this, the most expensive thing I have is my hands. honestly.
Right.
Yes,
Yes.
my hands do all the work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so my hands can't really compare to anything I have. Of course, there are other devices that, yes, but my hands.
Mm.
So when I first started, I was just doing body waxing.
Mm-hmm.
So I will have my waxing pot. I will
Mm-hmm.
get good quality wax. And then the rest is facial. And I will get the cleansers, everything I use is medical grade. So I did invest in that.
Right.
So I had good products and good wax in my hands. And that's how I started it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Tommie, you've had the experience of Denisse Ruiz's amazing hands and work. Can you talk about your experience?
I can, Eric, and I've had facials for years. I am one to go to spas. My wife and I, we go to spas. We've been doing that for 15 years. We go maybe once a quarter, 4, maybe even 6 times a year. Be it full body. We will go to Chicago, where there are different spas where they're basically, you go in, there are bathing pools, and then you get a massage for 90 minutes, and then you can get in different areas or environments. You get oxygen. You can go through different things there. So the facials for me is just part and parcel of my wellness. My wellness. And so when we were at our office in Elevate, which is a kind of a building that houses several different businesses, I saw Denisse, and she didn't see me at the time, but she was walking and then going into a business. And I thought 2 things. I thought, one, oh, she's a businesswoman. That's the first thing I thought. Secondly, I saw the services that she provided on her wall, on her door. And then third, when I introduced myself to her, she was nice.
Yeah.
Literally.
Look at there.
So that spoke volumes to me,
Right.
because customer service begins from within.
Yeah, I like that,
So
Tommie.
when I decided to get a facial,
Right.
my experience matched my expectation of service.
Right.
Not only is she professional, right, Eric, but I experienced a level of comfort. Just like any other professional spa, which she is a professional business, there was an opportunity for me to learn a little bit more about her on the front end. She asked me questions. Some of the questions I did not know, like about my face, about treatment.
Yeah.
I don't know. I literally wake up, wash myself, my
Right.
face with soap, and off I go. I
Right.
wasn't even hydrating my skin.
Mm.
And part of my experience with her is that she shared with me some critical feedback in a very nice way. She said, this is after the experience, right? And she said, your skin is very nice. I said, well, thank you. I had melanin and all that good stuff that helps.
Right.
He says, but it was a bit dry, right? It was a bit dry. And I was
Okay.
like, oh, okay, I can take that. And I kind of knew it was. And she then kind of doubled down, Eric. She said, yeah, it was dry. And I thought to myself, like, yeah, I just use soap. She said,
Right.
you probably do, most men do.
Right. Drying
And
it out.
I turned my attention to the product. Because I was like, I don't want to have dry skin. Because I was looking in the mirror after the service.
Right.
And Eric, I look good.
Right. I know. I saw that, Tommie.
After the service, I look good.
Right.
I was up in there like,
Right.
I may not be able to do it every day or every week.
Right.
Yeah. So at the end of the story, to really articulate how my experience was with Denisse is that I referred her to someone close to me. As she just talked about, folks were referring her, and she ended up having a lot of men, if you will, being customers, etc., and had to expand her business. I referred her to another man who was my son, Bryce.
Right.
And so I would say this in closing, that I 100% agree with Denisse's number one asset being her hands. Her hands are highly skilled. I say that, Eric and Denise, because I've had facials,
Right.
many facials.
Right.
I have had many massages. It's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
Denise, you are top of the line.
Mm.
Top of the
Mm.
line. Incredible. And at the end of our show today, our talk today, obviously we're going to allow you to share more about how folks can find you and utilize your services. But your hands are indeed licensed blessings.
Yes.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Denisse, maybe you can talk about, is there a intersection between your professional work and your faith?
Explain that to me.
Well, for me,
Mhm.
my mother was a preacher. And she dedicated all 5 of her children back to God as preachers. And I'm a business consultant. So I was laughing a few years ago. My mother's dead and gone to heaven. But I was laughing, and one of my clients said, I'm so glad that I'm not my mother's preacher. And then God said, no, this is the ministry that your mother prayed for. And so although I'm a consultant, I'm going into the world, and literally professionally, I'm doing leadership development training and helping them to improve their culture. But honestly, I love people, and I'm teaching people how to love each other. And so I feel like a lot of times when I'm in a business doing training and work, almost the anointing of God shows up in those spaces, and people find themselves crying and weeping, and they have no idea why they're crying, but they've been moved from a heart of compassion and from the power of God and the anointing of God flowing through me in my work. I sense that about you, so that's why I asked the question.
Yes. So just a little backstory. I got baptized last year in February 23rd. So that's where I really started my walk with God. Back then, I was very in the world. And I like to be very honest about my testimony. I was very in the world. I decided when I was, in a way, my lowest point, where I had like a huge void in my heart, God filled that. God was calling for me, was calling. And I decided to get baptized in February. I was still very in and out. I was very in and out in my walk with God. And at the end of June is where I fully surrender to God, and my life has just changed. So my work, and you know how they say that you shouldn't be bringing up politics or religion into your work, but it's just who I am, and it's part of me. And I don't even try to talk about it, but it just comes out. So I've had many people come to me from different walks of life, different religions, different backgrounds. And you'd be surprised how just like they come out of you, the words that come out of me sometimes. It's not even me talking, it's the Holy Spirit talking across, from me to the other person. And I have also, I've cried. I've had clients cry. Just again, just talking to them, listening to them. So yeah, so God is very present in everything I do, especially my work.
Right. Tom, go ahead, jump in, Tom, if you had something.
Yeah, I did, just real quick. Denisse, I appreciate you obviously sharing what you are sharing with regards to your testimony. I would say this, that Eric and I would like to invite you to stay in touch with us and continue to subscribe to Diversity Conversations. We're 7 years in every Saturday morning, and this has been a journey toward getting closer to God, professionally, personally, and individually. And so I would say this to you, that I am making a number of assumptions here that I'm going to tell you. One assumption is that I know that people, particularly men, approach you for different reasons. They may have one thing in mind when they see you. And I would ask that you steadfast on God and allow God to speak through you. Because sometimes those who don't know God as much as Eric and I do only will see you from your surface. You're a beautiful woman, but you are more beautiful inside and what God has in store for you than what's on the outside, which is fantastic. But some people, men and women, may only see you for your outside appearance. Secondly, you have a child that your journey, your testimony, they will never know everything. But it's the wisdom that you have acquired through your journey, interacting with other people who may have appeared to be on your side and then maybe gotten what they gotten and then they're gone. It could be anything. Stay fast in your faith.
That's
And finally, because your business is going to grow, you're going to be a blessing to others based on the service that you provide them. And because of the success that you will begin to continue experiencing, it's going to get even worse. Folks are going to not like you because of your success. They're not going to like you because you're beautiful. They're not going to like you because they can see and feel God in you. Stay fast and rooted in the anchor of our Lord. And it will give you the insights. It will give you the speech. It will give you the patience to deal with whatever's coming your way, such that you can continue to do what you need to do and realize all of the things that God has planned for you. I am so honored and blessed to have met you, to have been in your presence, to have received the blessings that your hands and your body and your spirit has. And I will ask that this is not the end of the Denisse and Eric and Tommie show, but the beginning.
That's
Keep
right.
going and doing what you're doing.
Right. And we're going to bring up Anita's comments. And while we're bringing that up, I just want to sort of recall what you said to us. You talked about your experience with acne, and you talked about how difficult that was for you. What's interesting is that you went all the way to college at UC to get a finance degree, only to discover that the pain, and then you actually thought you were going to focus on eyelashes, which is amazing too. And what God did is he used your most powerful initial experience to take you into a space that people often believe is superficial, aesthetics.
Exactly.
And when they look at you and they see that you are beautiful, and I agree with you, Tommie, more beautiful on the inside than you are on the outside. But they might think that you're just like the Kardashians and that all of this is just smoke and mirrors and you're what's wrong with the world. Everybody's working on the superficial. But what you've said to us is you took us back to the pain that people experience because of the world that we live in, because the world is not of God. There's a huge fear that we have that people are thinking negative thoughts or saying negative thoughts, or if they're not thinking or saying anything, we're still judging ourselves. And what God has allowed you to do is to go into a profession that you could heal people's bodies, but you also could heal in many ways their minds and their dispositions and their self-esteem. All of those things get influenced by that. Can you say anything more about that?
And you just said something right now that caught my attention. You said that God took me in an industry where I can heal. But I also came to realize that it also healed me from inside. It really did. Again, I was very focused on my looks, on how I look, on this and this. Again, very social media. Social media just portrays something that's not true.
Right.
Why can't I have this or that? So he also took me in an industry where I learned how to love myself more, how to heal from the inside, that, I was lacking all that. So, yeah.
Right. That's powerful. Let's see what Anita has said. Tommie, you want to read that?
I
That's
do.
tough.
Anita Bothwell says this. I commit to getting a facial once per month. Anesthesia, also massages, shoulders, arms, and hands. The benefit of skincare, relaxation are great. My session is also my me time. Unplug from all else and enjoy the experience. This time of year particularly helps because winter does its business on my skin and sinuses, right? Winter does its work. And it does that a lot here in this part of the country where the temperature and the weather is more dry. And so it may, do things skin wise, as well as just the season. Uh, the season of, it's supposed to be a holiday season. It's supposed to be a season of rejoicing, be it Thanksgiving or being Christmas, going into the new year. But we also have learned that it's a time of higher stress, anxiety. And so people, maybe acne is showing up a little bit more. And so I think it's a great regimen to be able to have a trusted source, spirit in hands, like a Denisse, go to regularly, not once a year, not going to Denisse to, hey, Denisse, put your hands on me, help me, and save me for the year. No. We have to put together a schedule, a plan of self-help, self-care. And so I want to ask you, Denisse, and thank you for being on our show today. This has been a blessing to me and Eric and our community. What are you still working on with yourself? What are some of your personal needs? Again, share what you want to share, obviously, but what are you still working on?
So personally or business-wise?
We'll say both, personally and business.
Okay, so personally, what am I working on right now? And I'll be honest with you, personally, right now, I'm very, very, very focused on my walk with God. That's my number one. That's my number one focus. Aside, that's, and of course, my daughter, business, growing, learning more. I like to read a lot. So, and I think I mentioned before the show started my communication skills. That's something that I really, really want to work on. I really want.
You're killing it today.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And I'm not a shy person. I'm really not, but just, I don't know. Because I feel like sometimes you get that little bit, what if I don't say the right words or the right things? So, again, it's just that little fear that I have back of me still. That's something that I am working on. I would say, I guess, my self-esteem a little bit more, bring myself higher. And but again, those are things I'm working on personally, business-wise. Again, more knowledge, learning more.
And what I would say now, you're talking to two people that are professional communicators. That's not, and the podcast is not our profession. We are professional communicators in the business world. And you will hear from both Tommie Lewis and Eric Ellis that you're an amazing communicator. So you need to hear, and I'm not just blowing smoke. Because communication first starts with authenticity.
There you go.
And as long as you can be, I remember when I was a kid and I used to be real nervous because public speaking is one of the greatest fears that people have. And I'll never forget how nervous I was about speaking, about singing. I was just petrified. And then one day I realized that it's just people out there. And all of a sudden I got very comfortable with it. You are where I was when I was really nervous that, oh my God, this is so scary, but you're actually phenomenal. So you need to hear somebody tell you that you are phenomenal. Now, one day you'll become very comfortable with it, but right now you need to understand that what you are delivering is amazing. Tommie, can you co-sign that?
I can absolutely co-sign it. That's, I would not have thought, Eric, that Denisse's concern was around communication. I respect it. And I understand it, but I would not have thought it. Here's one tidbit I would like to ask and offer up to the conversation as well. And Eric hit on this as well, that oftentimes when people are communicating with other people, the lower self-esteem and maybe the self-doubt comes from our perception of someone's judgment of us.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're talking to them, how are they going to judge me? Are they going to judge the language that I'm saying? Are they going to judge how I'm saying the language? Are they going to judge me? All of that judgment we cannot control.
Right.
So you can hear from this conversation that Eric and I have different communication styles, and we're all speaking English, right?
Right.
You are one of the most, you are of the three of us, the stronger communicator because you speak more than one language. That's one.
I like that, Tommie.
The other piece is,
see there, you got a kudo out of this. You right on top of the list.
and I'm saying this, Denise, and not to toot my own horn, and Eric knows this. I've had the blessed opportunity to work and or live in 55 different countries.
Wow.
I enjoy traveling. Eric and I just got back from Colombia to golf.
Right.
But this is something I do, and just being around different people who are communicating different ways. Right. And we as human beings communicate in 4 ways, and you do it all very well. First is verbally. Communicate verbal. And so sometimes the language may not be as, we call it the King's English, but none of us speak the King's English. We speak our work language, we speak our home language, we speak our just in my own language. And trust me, Eric and I, we don't always speak this quote unquote eloquently. Nope. We golf and we say some stuff that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Second way to communicate is non-verbally. Body language, right? So the body language that I read from you is confidence, right? Even if you don't have it in you, you portray confidence.
And humility.
And humility. Thank you.
Yeah.
The third is written. Post, emails, things like that, the written word. And sometimes the written word can be misinterpreted, but you do a great job because I've had opportunity to hear some or read some of the written term. The fourth way, again, 1, verbal, nonverbal, and written. The fourth way, the most powerful, it's called esoteric. It is spiritual. That is the number one way that people communicate. So I would say to you that you are a strong communicator because you are on your journey to God and gaining the confidence of God as a human being. And that confidence resonates with those who are already on the journey and those who don't know which way to go.
Right.
They're on the journey, falling back into the world. And you are the voice for them. You speak from the heart, you reach the heart.
Yeah.
And if you want to develop any additional communication skills that you say you need, reach out to Eric, reach out to myself. It is what we do as a profession.
Right.
Our coming together was not by happenstance. It's all by destination. It's all determined. It wasn't by mistake, right? You are a beautiful woman, communicating hard, strong, and you will continue to do that as well. That's why we have these diversity conversations.
Right. It's clear that she's going to have to be hiring people, isn't it, Tommie?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
that little small spot in Elevate is going to be a building with several folks, and you have to teach people how to do what you do.
Right. So let's go to the question. I bet you've experienced, pull this up, Lydia. I bet you've experienced people's transformations. What is the most heartfelt transformation you've seen in someone regarding self-esteem?
Yes. So this is big. This, I guess, goes back to acne. I work a lot with acne clients. And again, self-esteem plays a huge role. You know, I've had clients come in saying things that hurt my heart. You know, I get a lot of people that say, oh, I'm ugly or this, and it hurts me. It hurts me for them, you know? So I have to be a little bit hard on them sometimes. Like, don't say that by yourself. I have to tell them that. You know, I have to be a little bit hard sometimes. It's, don't say that by yourself. You know, we can do this, but don't put yourself in that category. Don't say that by yourself, because if whatever you said by yourself, people are going to see you that way. You know what I mean? So always try to encourage them. to not talk down on themselves. So yes, so I remember one day I had a client and he had a lot of acne. And there's only a certain, you know, that's in my scope that I can do. You know, the rest has to be a dermatologist. But I said, you know what? We can do something. We can do it. You know, he came to me. This was not a month. It was months. But I put him on an acne skin care regimen. We did some chemical peels. We did everything. Man, that person was so happy. I will never forget. I will never forget. And I still talk to him now. He was suffering a lot. His self-esteem. Again, he told me those words I will never forget. I'm ugly. I don't want to be seen. And so again, that touched my heart a lot. So yes, so knowing that I can do that, again, that's why my love for skin grows every day more and more and more.
So I'm going to ask you a second question. I'm going to ask you now to speak to our Spanish-speaking community. And so if you'll tell the same story that you just told in English, in Spanish.
In Spanish, yeah. Ok, bueno, hace mucho tiempo yo tenía clientes, bueno, yo trabajo mucho con clientes que sufren de acné y me acuerdo un cliente mío que él venía y me decía que él sufría pues de acné y que se sentía feo. Yo siempre he dicho que esas palabras pues me duelen en el corazón más por esa persona, porque siempre les digo, o sea, y les tengo que ser un poquito fuerte con ellos, decir, no digan eso de ustedes, siempre se tienen que subir ustedes mismos. Y entonces al muchacho yo lo puse en una rutina de acné y fue algo que hicimos durante muchos meses. Fueron meses y meses que pasaron hasta que por fin pudimos controlar su acné y el muchacho me abrazó y me dijo que muchas gracias y hasta el día pues hablamos, o sea, yo hablo con él, pero fue una transformación que pues nunca me voy a olvidar de él. And you know what else? You know, I've had many clients come to me and out of, you know, them saying their way of saying thank you, you know, they'll bring me like food, they'll bring me
stuff that make you.
Yeah, some people even give me like, and a lot of people that come, believe it or not, Eric, Tommie, a lot of people are not, you know, financially well, you know, so they're doing this because it's something that really affects them, you know, so they find a way to do these services because, you know, a lot of people view this as just superficial, you know. So yeah, so I've had people that are struggling. And then even though in their struggles, and I will never forget this other guy too, even though he was telling me during the facial and everything I was doing for him, he was telling me how he was struggling a lot financially. And he just came to America. And then when he left, and I hugged him. He gave me $5. He was like, take it. And I was like, no, don't. He's like, please take it. This is for me, to you. And I was like, I don't need it. Just you coming is enough for me. But that's just like those gestures. They just like really like mean so much. And it just, again, I don't know. I just thank God all the time for putting me in this industry that I can help people, but they don't know that they're helping me as well, you know?
So I'm going to say this to you, and then Tommie will let you jump right in, that we're going to send you this episode. You need to take excerpts out of this and put that up on your social media because people are going to get a completely different view of esthetician, of what an esthetician does. They're going to hear something deeper in your presentation that I think will help a lot of people say, I need what she has, because it's not simply your hands. It's your heart.
Yeah.
It's your spirit. It's what God has created you and anointed you to do that I think is going to really blow your business up. And I think that as God blows your business up, just maintain this same heart that you have right now, a heart of humility, a heart of searching. It's okay not to have all the answers or to think that we've got our act together.
Right.
As soon as we start believing we have our act together, I don't think God can use us as much. But as long as we recognize that we're still a work in progress, I think that's a beautiful, beautiful place to be.
And
Tommie, if you have a comment, and I don't know if there are any other questions there was another comment. I want to make sure we get to our community to what they're saying or asking.
Yeah, I would just say this, Eric, that although I'm not in studio, I'm virtual. I am getting a bit emotional by hearing Denisse share her passion, her energy, for her to share that she's actually served others and she continues to serve others, and it doesn't always have to be about the dollar bill. Those are my words.
Yeah.
I have a greater respect for you, Denisse, and why I think your business is going to grow and provide more service. So, with that being said, I would like to find a way, connect with you, and how might I and Make It Plain Consulting offer up 5 free treatments to any of your clients. And so if you have a client that cannot afford a treatment, only has $5, only can pay through a meal to you,
That's right.
allow us to care for that such that you can care for them. You're caring for people in a one treatment or a couple of treatments. It's not just for them. It bleeds into their immediate family and their community. And I love that Eric had asked you to share the same story with the Spanish speaking community.
Yeah.
Right? We are all going to be better in 2026. We are. We're not all doing well, and you are proof in the pudding that it's going to be a beautiful year this year.
Well, you know what the Lord says. He says, whatever you do for the least of me, you're doing for me. So this is also why, and I did want to bring it up. And I think I talked to you a little about it, but I also started a nonprofit, and it's called, I don't think I've ever really talked to you much about it. So it's called A Touch of Faith. So this foundation was created. I started it last year, honestly, November, December. December was so busy, I haven't, but I was telling Tommie that this month I'm going to focus on it. But it was created to actually give free skincare once a week to people that don't have the funds to pay for skincare, people that have been through emotional, physical abuse, rehabilitation. So that is why I created this nonprofit. Again, it's Touch of Faith, because with my hands is how I'm doing this work, So yeah.
There's a comment that we had, owning the room from the moment you step into the room without saying a word. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. Roger is, we went to church together. Roger's a regular part of our community. When the right words from the right person touch the heart, it can heal the soul. Any response to those comments?
So yeah, I feel like I know when people come into my room, I want them to feel peace, at peace. I want them to feel loved, cared for. Again, especially with, going back to my nonprofit, a lot of people that experience these traumas, again, physical or mental abuse, or going through drug rehabilitation, all that, they don't know what a sense of peace is, So them coming into my room, that's what I want to deliver to them. I want them just to be able to lay down and just to be cared for and listen to. I feel like healing begins from the heart. And so that's my purpose, is to give that peace, that relaxation a lot of people don't have.
Right.
Yeah, and I want to thank you there, Denisse, for providing me a space to have my own peace. Things have been somewhat challenging, and there's some opportunities over the last several months, and I was able to come into the environment that you so well curated to create the peace that I needed, such that I thought of my son, who is going through his own challenges and opportunities. He's a person that absorbs and internalizes a lot of tornadoes that happens, and it's not all woe is me, but I want to make sure that he was cared for and introduce him to you. And when he left the environment with the experience that you provided to him, he looked and felt lighter.
Mm.
And I shared with him, I said, "How was it, Bryce?" He said, "Dad, that was good." And I said, "Life is good.
Mm.
Life is
Yeah.
good. You provide a lighter spiritual life to people. You're doing a ministry,
Yeah.
God's work, right?" So I wanted to publicly thank you for being who you are and doing what you do.
Absolutely. I want to second that. And the thing is, what's interesting about you and your story is that you have a level of maturity that's uncommon. You said that I've just really sold out and become super committed to God
Yeah.
a couple of years ago.
Last year.
Yeah, last
Yeah.
year. That's what that's what I thought you said. And what's amazing is that in God, when we give our lives to God, there's an infilling that happens that really transforms
Oh yeah.
our entire life. And what I would say is that you are speaking about these things as though you were saying them as a beginner, but the way we're hearing them is far deeper than that. There's such a deep level of understanding about the connection
Mhm.
between your own life story, your own hurt, your transformation in God, and then your heart to sort of serve others with that. That's back to Tommie's, this is going to be a year of service.
Yeah.
I know that when people hear you from this interview, that it's first thing they'll see is you in your face, and then they hear that you're into aesthetics, and they'll assume something that may not be about them. I can't be you. I can't look like you. But there's something so much deeper
No
in
way.
you. And what's interesting is that your commitment through your nonprofit to sort of help others, that's beyond helping them have a pretty face.
Yeah.
That's tough. And the way that you curate the experience so that people come into your location and feel at peace and feel really the compassion, the love, the heart of God
Yeah.
is an amazingly mature perspective.
Yeah.
Tommie, anything else you want to share? Our time is has
It's
been spent.
always a blur, always a blur. Denisse, we want to give you the opportunity to share with our community how might one get in touch with you and receive the blessings that you have continued to bestow upon many, many others. How might folks reach you?
Yeah. So you guys can reach me on my phone number, which is 513-227-3310, or through Instagram. I'll be MAD _aesthetics, or Facebook, Denisse Ruiz, Ruiz.
Awesome.
That's great. I will just say this before I throw it to you, Eric, to close us out. It's been an honor to have you on this show. God's timing is always on time. And I think that as we carry this discussion forward, not just what you do, but what you said, how it resonated with our energies, our spirit, we're going to revisit this conversation, pull out some things that we can use immediately, and that you've been a blessing to many more people than you think or know, not only in Southwest Ohio, Cincinnati, but across the world. We have the analytics, Denisse. We are global. This show is global. So be careful when you see folks showing up talking about, I just landed from Russia, I just landed from Taiwan, and I'm here to see you. You are going to be global. And thank you for joining us, Eric.
And Denisse, I'm going to ask you to give your final word in this way. I'd like you to say, both in English and Spanish, tell our community, why is it important for them to care for their skin? And why is it also important for them to care for their soul?
So, okay, I'll start in English. So it's very important that we take care of our skins. Why? Because, the skin is the largest organ we have. And again, it just, in a way, it does go back to self-esteem. A lot of people want to look good. They want to feel good. And not just, and I always say that not just skin, but also your body. Make sure you're working out. Make sure you're eating correctly. Just taking care of yourself. You only have one body and one life. So you might as well, take advantage of it. Use it wisely. And then feed your soul good things, fill your soul with the Lord. And he's the only, and I'll say this, he's the only one that can fill that void. And I've talked to so many people, and so many people tell me this. I have a void. And I always tell them this. Only God can fill that void.
That's
nothing
right.
else you do, nothing else you have is going to fill that void. So feed your soul God. He's there. And he said, seek me and you will find me. So feed your soul God. Now in Spanish.
Yes, double duty. Sorry.
Okay, in Spanish. So, cuídense en su piel. La piel es la única piel que ustedes tienen. Es el órgano más grande que nosotros poseemos. Cuídense la piel, y no nomás la piel de afuera, pero también de adentro. Cuídense su cuerpo, vayan al gimnasio, coman bien, cuídense, quiéranse. Y también, como digo, no nomás es comer la comida, pero es también, I don't say it in Spanish, the word,
right.
digest. O sea, todo lo que uno también ve, lo que uno escucha, que sean cosas buenas, cosas que llenen el corazón, que los llene internamente. Y siempre digo, porque siempre me dicen, y he hablado con muchas personas que dicen, es que siento un vacío. Y yo siempre digo que el único que puede llenar ese vacío es Dios. Nadie más. Nada de lo que tengas, nada, o sea, el dinero, nada va a llenar eso. Nomás Dios es la única persona que va a poder llenar ese vacío. So, siempre ténganlo presente y ya.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Tommie, we are global, man. We're international. And now we're speaking to more people in our community. And community, I want to thank you all for joining us. I can tell you, as a co-host of Diversity Conversations, this has far exceeded whatever I thought was going to be our conversation today. We're so grateful to have the powerful, the anointed, the gifted hands of Denisse Ruiz join us on this Saturday to talk about her work and her heart and her passion. And I'm certain, community, that you're going to be trying to reach out and take advantage of her gifts and talents. Tommie and I thank you for joining us this week, and we look forward to you joining us next week for another installment of Diversity
Conversations.